Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Janif.
Okay, today I speak about the calendar synchro and the calendar presence. Um, the calendar is a component which performs the synchronization between the ACS meetings and the exchange calendar. Uh, on this slide, there are the different parts which are involved in the calendar synchronization. You have in the OSGI framework, you have two providers, ACS calendar service provider, which which allows to ACS to push the scheduled conference which are created, and the exchange calendar service provider which performs the synchronization with the exchange server or out or Office 365. There are two ways to perform to create a conference. The conference could be created via the OpenTouch client, the MyOTCPC, or from the calendar part of Outlook with the add-in component. When you create a scheduled conference with SES, SES push the conference in the calendar service and is updated in the Exchange server, and the Exchange server updates the Outlook calendar. Something about the calendar source. You have the several parts in the source. Some of the parts are not used, but can be removed, I think. You have the calendar API, which is the calendar synchro API. The calendar configuration, which allow to retrieve the calendar configuration from CMS. The calendar console, which allow to make some commands, to make some diagnostic with the console, the calendar console. The calendar e-test, which is a part for integration test. The calendar load testing for the traffic. In bold, I put the main part of the calendar synchronization, the ACS, which is the ACS provider, and the MS Exchange, which is the calendar exchange provider. You have some of the part calendar SPI, which is provider shared implementation. The calendar unified is the core feature, and the calendar wireless package, which is the global package of the calendar. There is two deliveries. There is two deliveries. The API part, calendar API part, and the part of the global package. You can find the source in Mercurial with the name ICE Infra Calendar. Some details about the binary and the logs, the location on the platform. The package, it's a calendar wireless package, which is located in infra services wireless deploy. We have I have listed the calendar bundles which are loaded in the OSGI container. You can see here the two providers, Exchange and ACS. The logs for the calendar synchro, it's on the logs URL, it's a calendar log, and there is another file which is filled with the ACS. You can find in this Exchange connector the logs of the scheduled conference which are pushed in the calendar component to be forward to the Exchange server. With log level, you can set some logs, some level for some package. We have here the calendar. And you have the MS Exchange. Okay. About the calendar presence component, I put the slide with the ecosystem of the calendar presence. This calendar presence provides the availability of the users, and you can see what are the what is the way the event takes on the when there is a calendar event on Exchange server, the calendar synchro scheduled this event. If there is a change on availability of the user, each time there is an event on the calendar synchro, the calendar presence is notified, and the calendar presence get information about in the calendar synchro to determine if there is a change on the present state. The present state is pushed on the REST API and is pushed to the ECS component, and the ACS receive the present state and dispatch the present state for all update users. In ACS, there is an exchange connector, which the aim of its part of the ACS is to push the scheduled conference in the calendar synchro. Some things about the interface. Here in green, you have the calendar synchro. When there is an event which comes on the calendar synchro, the calendar, by the way of the calendar notification, notify the calendar presence provider, which sends we get from calendar to get the presence info. The presence info consists to get the list of calendar events which are in the cache of the calendar, and once he has got the list of calendar events, it calculates the availability of the user, and if there is a change, it push with the presence notification to the Camel presence consumer. The role of the Camel presence consumer is to listen to the notification from the calendar presence provider and to use the REST API to push the presence state. Okay. Here I have listed the different feature provided by the different components we saw before. Yes, the presence API defines the presence API. Okay, presence service and presence notification services. The calendar presence provider implements the presence API, computes calendar presence based on calendar events FreeBSD, the Camel Presence consumer, yes, publishes the presence in Camel, okay. The Camel Presence producer invokes OpenTouch Presence REST API, as I said before, and there is a presence console we'll see after. This in this slide there is the mapping which is done by the calendar presence. On the left, you have the exchange state, which come from the exchange server, and in the middle you have the resulting state, which is done in the presence calendar provider. You can see that the user is in the available state until he has accepted the conference. It corresponds to the tentative state in Exchange server. And when the user accepts the conference, it comes in the busy state. There is only two resulting states available if there is a free working elsewhere or tentative state, and in meeting in the busy or out of office event state. And on the right, you have the calendar info, which is pushed with the REST API. If the user is available, if he is free, the state is set to available, and the end date, the italic form, because this end date can be omitted. In this case, it means that the user is available for the next hours. And same thing for the busy state. If the user is busy, the state is put in a meeting, and the end date contains the date until what it is busy, and this date can be omitted too. About the calendar presence source, you can find it in Mercurial on the presence you have some directory. Presence API corresponds to the API. The presence calendar is correspond to the calendar presence provider. The presence camel, which correspond to the camel producer and the camel REST client. Presence console, which is used for diagnostics. Presence extensible services not used. And the presence wired package, which is a global package of presence components. Um, binary and logs location. The package, the presence URL package is put on the infra services URL deploy, and you have some bundles which are set in the OSGI component, the API, the calendar provider, console, and Camel interface. About the logs, we have the presence log in logs URL, and it's useful for the way the present state takes. You can see the ECS SIP log and the THS log. To have the debug logs for presence, you set in log level the OSGI presence. Okay. I show you some command about the console. First, for the calendar, you have some command. For example, the list of the calendar which exist in the cache. You have the list of the different associations which are done between the calendar in calendar and the exchange and ACS. You have the list of providers which compose the calendar synchro. You have a command to synchronize, to force the synchronization of calendar, and you can see all the calendar which are in the calendar synchro. In this case, you have 5 users. Okay. For presence, you have two commands. Yes. If I precise a user, with this command, you can have the presence info for a user. Bon, in this example, there is no calendar event today for this user, but you can have the login, the provider status, and the availability available in a meeting, and the date until it will be in another state. Okay, and the second one. Show the two provider, but it's the calendar provider is XS. I don't know what is the aim of this provider. It's not used, but it is in the presence calendar. Okay. I'll return to the slide. Alors, about the issues which have been fixed since the previous transfer, there was two issues. We can say three issues, yes, but two CR in the Jira. For the first calendar, when there was several meetings, only the last meeting it was taken into account for the busy state. In the second one, there were two meetings which were not well managed when they were in parallel. When there is an overlap between the two meetings, and to fix this issue, it was necessary to get all the list of events every time there is a change in calendar or in a triggering of calendar event. And for the different events which occurs, the different methods of the presence service notification, on new calendar event, on update calendar event, on delete, on start, on end. Each time these methods are called presence calendar compute the list of calendar events by the mean of the get availability until method. To perform this fix, a class has been added, the calendar presence assessment. The aim of this class is to compute the list of calendar events to obtain the right availability and the right and depth of the availability state. It remains an issue. When when the scheduled conference is built via the add-in of the Outlook, and this scheduled conference is deleted via the OTCPC. In this case, the meeting is not deleted from calendar, and therefore it remains in Outlook calendar. Okay. For the moment, I haven't analyzed why this issue occurs. Well, yeah, there is a thing I didn't say about the calendar synchro, but the calendar synchro is in charge to schedule the calendar events in order to notify the change of availability of the user. If you want to have precision about the calendar, more information in Docman, you have some document which have in the title calendar, and if you have some details about previous transfer in each component in the root part, you have a README which try to list the different parts and functionalities and the persons which have been involved in the development of the design of the of these two components. Okay, I think I have no more to say about these two components. Have you some question?
Yes, I have question about documentation. There is a link to SharePoint in a README file where Fabien Frank pushed some information about this component,
yeah.
but we don't have access to this SharePoint.
Okay. I can I put this document. Me too. I haven't access to this document. I had to ask to Frank Diebold to give me this document because I have no authorization to.
Okay.
Okay. I put it on the SharePoint with the other PowerPoint. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
one question about the real client. Do you know there is way to emulate email invitation or something like this using this client?
Sorry?
Do you know there is way using this client emulate email invitation for user? I mean, create invitation in the real client. Just to simplify environment with Exchange and Outlook.
I don't know if if I understand what you mean, but I don't speak about email, but
okay, I will write email. I think
you say about the notification and
yeah.
for the scheduled conference.
Yes.
Yes, there is of course there is notification in the email for the invitation. Or
is it possible to do it in the real client?
I don't know.
Okay. Jean-Yves, one question about previous meeting by ECS.
Yes.
Have you modified presentation by this component?
About ECS?
Yeah.
Yes, I have made correction. Yes, I I put it today on the SharePoint with the other presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, but if you have later some question, you can write it by email. Perhaps I
okay,
I could
thank
answer
you.
Or not, I don't know. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so it's the last presentation I do, and I think tomorrow you have a presentation for the authentication.
Yes, right.
With Michel Souben. It's the last presentation for us.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Jean.
Bye.
Bye.